Hey there, this is Will again from Untagged Games, and I'm here with a new devlog. This is devlog number 23, and it's going to be a little different than usual. Today we're going to be talking about Atmocopter again, and you might notice that nothing is moving on the screen. That's because what you're seeing in the background here is actually a video. You can see I've got the video player bar right at the bottom here. So this is a special devlog. It's been about almost 3 years now, actually, since I started Atmocopter, and I was looking through all the video files on my hard drive in my video workspace, and I came across this one, and this is a video from Gamers Rhapsody 2015. Now, Gamers Rhapsody is a video game convention that I've gone to multiple times, and it focuses on video game music, but it also lets indie devs like me bring our games to get feedback and tests and generally sort of build an audience. So this is the video that I took to accompany all the Gamers Rhapsody promotional material. They put this, I think they used clips from this on their website and stuff. I think this was one of the videos that convinced them to accept Atmocopter at Gamers Rhapsody. So I came across this, and I watched it a couple times, and it's just kind of like a blast from the past, you know? It's, there's so much stuff that's different from 2 years ago. And it is really 2 years ago from this November that I went to this Gamers Rhapsody. I started Atmocopter in March 2015, and then this would have been November 2015. Fast forward 2 years, and here we are in November 2017. So I just want to go through this video, and we'll be swapping between this video and the current version of Atmocopter, and I'm going to show you all this little stuff that's different, and all the big stuff that's different in the first level. And that's really all there is in this video. In this build of the game is the first level. I only had one level back then. Isn't that crazy? So let's take a look at it and see what it has to offer. I'm just gonna make sure my sound is okay, and there's gonna be a little more technical stuff going on here because I gotta swap between them. But anyway, let's go. So this is the title screen. You'll see I I have some pretty rudimentary pixel art compared to my current version. You'll see I'm able to grab that time bomb and drop it into the grinder, and then I hit the start button. So anyway, we're going to go right into the first level here, and I'm going to show you everything that's different. So right off the bat, you can see the the level has no scrolling boundaries. It's just the camera is glued onto Atmocopter, and it follows him wherever he goes. And that's definitely something that changed. Again, the graphics are very, very rudimentary compared to my current graphics 2 years later. And you'll also notice there's a lot of missing sound effects. I don't know if the sound is loud enough that you can hear that, but probably is. You'll see I have the boost ability. I distinctly remember that being new when I showed this off at Gamers Rhapsody 2015. And I'm gonna pause the video here, and I want to show you the comparison of what Atmocopter looks like today. Let's see here. How do I do that? There we go. Okay. So this is Atmocopter, today's version, and you'll see we have a level select screen, of course. And I'm just gonna go right into it. So right off the bat, you'll notice we have the title card right up above the, in the top center of the screen that shows the level name and level location, as well as some story. I'm gonna skip the story because if you're here, you've probably already seen it. But if you haven't seen it, watch some of the other videos, I guess. But anyway, so you'll notice the graphics are just so much better, and the game has become more of a screen-based game, oh, I'm on this screen right now. Then I go over here, and oh, I'm on this screen. You know what I mean? The graphics have drastically improved. I have like parallax scrolling and stuff. I have glitches. As you can see, this is the current version of the game. And I just changed the graphics for these things, so they're a little glitchy right now. But anyway, I remember in the other version, around that time I was just implementing these collectibles, and I remember being so proud that there was no HUD on the screen. There was no heads-up display. There was no, health meter. There was no boost meter. There was no nuts and bolts counter. There was nothing like that. And I was proud of that for a while, and I think there is something to be said for simplicity. But as my needs grew for the game, it sort of necessitated having those things on the screen for the player to see. Because people would always ask me, like, oh, how much health do I have left? Oh, how many nuts and bolts have I collected? Stuff like that. And, yeah, the game has come a long way, hasn't it? Just looking at the level from where we were up to here. Like, I'm going to pause this again, and we're going to go back. How do I do this? There we go. I'm going to remember how to do that one of these days. I don't usually switch between scenes. Anyway, I'm going to go back, now that we've seen the current version of Atmocopter, and we're going to go back and watch this real quick. So isn't that just a striking difference, how it's not really screen-based like the current version, and you just kind of go wherever you want? And it just doesn't flow as well, but you can see how the basic layout of this level is still the same. I've still got this, these electric traps. The one goes up, from the floor, and the one goes down from the ceiling. I've still got that in the current version of this level, and that is so cool. You can see how these bumpers are still here in the current version. There's a few, there's a couple less of them, but they're still there. And the basic ideas of the level are still the same, which is so cool. This spinning electrope over here is still there, and that brings us to where we were. Let's see here. That brings us to where we were. This is the first puzzle in the game. And originally what you wanted to do was, you'd be faced with these two locked doors, right? And one button. So when you press the button, it opens one of the doors, but you can't keep it held down, right? So that's why I wanted you to, like, search for an alternate path, and you would go up this corridor here. I just demonstrate being hit in the video. But you go up this corridor, and then finally you find this button, and then there's like this little, you see that flashing line, that flashing vertical line on the screen? That's supposed to tell you, like, what changed in the level as a result of pressing that button. So then you grab the crate that you have access to after pressing the button, you use it to hold down the big button, and then you get to go through. So I'm going to switch back to current version of Atmocopter. There we go. I did it this time. And I'm just going to show you how different it became. So you'll see here that there's no more pit with a crate in it, but there is still this big button. And of course there's story that goes along with it. I'm just going to fast forward through that. Whoops. Okay. I made the vertical path, which is still there, of course. I made it more obvious. I extended this line of collectibles down further. And you'll see there's still graphical glitches over here, because I changed those. But anyway, so you go up here, and then instead of a button, I have an introduction to attacking stuff. With instructions on the screen, of course. So it tells you in no uncertain terms, press S to fire, destroy the flashing object. And I hope you enjoy my nice new explosion graphics. Those are new as of this version. Whoa. That's weird. There's like, there's just like a blank area of the background up here. I'll have to fix that. Anyway, so you get the crate. I'm always surprised when I find new bugs. Always surprised. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and solve this puzzle real quick. Just like we did in the other version, I put the box on the crate and we go forward. Now, I just want to take a moment and ask you, what else is different about this version compared to the old version? What have we done in this version already that we didn't see at all in the old version 2 years ago? Give up? The answer is attacking. Atmocopter had no attack back then. In fact, if we switch back to... Let's see. There we go. If we switch back to the old version, I just want to go ahead and show you... Yeah, specifically like right here. Okay, just watch Atmocopter as he moves around the electrode. So you'll notice, even though he's moving left, he doesn't turn left. He doesn't turn to face left. And turning was a necessity that arose from Atmocopter being given an attack. He had to turn to face the direction he was attacking. So that's just a little tidbit, but something I noticed after watching this. It's so weird to see Atmocopter moving left but not facing left. It's so unusual. But yeah. So the thing is, in this version of Atmocopter, and I'm gonna skip back to kind of where we were here after we go through this tunnel. The thing about this version of Atmocopter is it's mainly about dodging stuff. And you'll see that off on the right side of the screen here after the save point, when there is a moving hazard. These 3 bumpers are on this kind of octagonal track where they move around, and you just have to avoid them. It's like the whole game is based around avoiding stuff. And the reason that changed is because it got boring. Like, it got real boring, and it got really hard to think of new ways. I'm just going to pause this quick. To think of new ways to make levels and make challenges for the player. When all the player can do is avoid stuff. And sure, the player can grab stuff like he's about to do right now to interact with it, but to grab stuff, you have to get so close to whatever you want to interact with. And practically everything in the game can hurt you under the right circumstances. You know, bumpers can bump you, you can get squashed by a moving platform, you know, conveyor belts make it hard to grab stuff, and so on. And it just became so hard. Like, I wanted to make enemies that you had to, like, you know, maybe they'd move around on the floor and try and shoot you, and then if you grabbed, like, a certain part of them and pulled it out, they would stop working, or something like that. That's what I wanted to do. But at the end of the day, it, just because it necessitated you getting so close to the enemy in order to do it, it became kind of impossible to design. And that's why in the current version of Atmocopter, we have attacking. And you'll notice, suddenly, it's a lot easier to design challenges. I'm going to fast forward the dialogue again. So you'll see suddenly, it's a lot easier to design challenges. This is an enemy, something that was impossible in the other version of Atmocopter, simply because you had no attack, and because making grabbing an attack would put you in danger all the time. So even simple enemies like that would have been impossible in that old version. So anyway, after I teach the player how to attack, this part is generally the same, the part where it presents you the key. And of course, I have this giant "Don't forget the key" sign, which I must have added after Gamers Rhapsody 2015, because it's not in that video. And I'm gonna pause it right here, and we're gonna swap back over. Let's see if I do it right. Oh, other one. There we go. So after you get the key, you'll see there's no sign. Which means, during Gamers Rhapsody 2015, I must have been telling people non-stop, don't forget the key. That's probably why I put it there. So anyway, you go through this big, vertical, kind of gauntlet of little traps and stuff designed to trip you up. And one thing you'll notice here is the key, while you're grabbing it, has no collision with the rest of the world or anything else. So when I added the ability for the key to collide with stuff, this whole part had to be widened significantly. And that's actually the end of the video and the end of the level, because there's no like level end cutscene or anything like that. And I think I did actually implement that like in the days up to Gamers Rhapsody, in the days leading up to it, but it didn't make it just in time for this video. So if we switch back to the current version, you'll notice that it is largely the same, with the addition of a couple enemies. You'll see it's gotten quite a bit wider, so, you know, you don't have to maneuver around tight spaces while holding the key, because in this version the key can take damage. There's still all these collectibles, there's still this part with the 2 spinning electropes, I really liked that part. There's still these grinders that I left there to create a feeling of danger without actually there being any danger, because you don't have to go over there to those sides, there's nothing over there. It just makes it feel dangerous. And you come down here through the vertical corridor, and finally you get to the end. And you just plug that in, and that's the end. So, I just wanted to give you this little retrospective of how Atmocopter kind of grew and matured over time. You know, over the past 2 years. It's been just a little over 2 years since that Gamers Rhapsody, and the game has come a really long way. And I'd like to just thank you guys for supporting me along the way, and for kind of cheering me on, giving me new ideas, and, you know, helping me keep the game fresh. And basically, I'd like to thank you for being an audience that I can show this game to and get feedback from. You guys are awesome, and I look forward to releasing Atmocopter. I don't know when that's going to be exactly. I have just signed a new contract that I can talk about very soon, but I'm hoping it's not going to push Atmocopter back too far. And if I had to guess, I'd say Atmocopter is still slated for sometime like early mid-2018. So anyway, I don't know. I guess I'm getting sentimental. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys next time, probably with more pixel art. But there will be more Atmocopter levels and videos very soon. There is a new level that I don't think I've showed off yet on my YouTube, so look forward to that next time. And I'll see you guys next time. Let's eat this floppy disk. You know, I love that animation. So anyway, without further ado, see you guys next time.